Thank you, Sue. All right. Let me go ahead and share my screen. And on screen here, you should be seeing an Excel template. And this is going to be the test case we're using for today's demonstration. So like Sue mentioned, each jurisdiction will receive a customized quarterly reporting template, and this will come with a variety of pre-populated data for you. So if it's your first time reporting, the pre-populated information will include the reporting period, start and end date, the submission deadline, the name of your participating jurisdiction, your total potential allocation, cumulative funds dispersed, and then a list of your approved programs in the application and their respective program types, program administrator, and program allocation. You will also have a pre-populated administrative cost threshold, which represents the total dollar amount that you're able to expend for administrative costs in your current tranche. So that's what will become pre-populated for you in your first period for quarterly reporting. In subsequent periods, after you have included some EOT information, all of the cumulative as of prior quarter end fields will also come pre-populated with that dollar amount of prior EOT. You'll notice that the template is broken out into gray and white cells. All of the gray cells are locked. You will not be able to interact or click on the gray portions of the template. Only the white cells are unlocked and editable for you, and that is where you'll be able to enter your EOT data. Another helpful tip is we have included tooltips on many of the data elements in the quarterly reporting template. So you can hover over the given data element here to get some additional information on what is being collected or how this is defined. The majority of these tooltips do come from the reporting guidance, so you can reference that for additional information. The quarterly reporting template is broken up into a few major sections here. So up at the top, just some generic information about the reporting period and the participating jurisdiction. In this section, you have all of the approved program information, and the EOT will be reported at the program level. So here's where you'll report the program allocated funds EOT. And then if we scroll to the right here a little bit, also on this line is where you can report the recycled funding information eventually. Scrolling down, we'll move into the administrative cost section. So this is where you can report direct and indirect administrative costs. Past that will be the other additional information, including program income, cap charge-offs, and then the additional information, which is where you can leave comments, general comments, or comments regarding the adjustments made. And then finally, at the bottom of the template, you'll have the contracted entity section. If you do have any reported contracted entities as part of your initial application with the SSBCI program, those will be listed here, and you can enter or edit the budgeted amount. All right, so I'm going to go through a couple examples of entering EOT data into the template here. So again, in this example, this would be a subsequent reporting period. This would not be my first time reporting, given that I have cumulative as of prior quarter end data. So let's say this is my second or third quarter coming in to report, and I'd like to enter some EOT data. So for each of my programs here, you can see I've already EOT nearly $21 million, and I'm going to go ahead and enter some more. So firstly, in my loan guarantee program, let's say I have 5 million EOT. I can go ahead and enter that, and I shouldn't see any issues. You'll see that that starts to sum towards my total for the current quarter, and it will also add in to my cumulative as of current quarter numbers and the total there as well. Let's go ahead and move on to our venture fund program and say we have some additional EOT here as well. Like Sue mentioned earlier, please include the 171 fees in this program allocated fund section for venture programs. This example, let's say we want to put $4 million here. I am going to get an error. So this is one of the errors that you may see pop up if you are entering data into the template that is, not compliant with the program rules. So it'll give you a variety of reasons of why your data might be incorrect. So in this case, input is numeric. Yes, that's correct. Current quarter must be positive. We entered positive 4 million. The third reason here is current quarter amount plus adjustment and cumulative as of prior quarter end exceeds our program allocation. You can see that's not the case here. We have $50 million allocated to this program and only 18 million EOT. So our last item here, number 4, reported EOT exceeds funds dispersed. That is the cause of our error, right? So our 26 million plus an additional 4 million is going to bring us over our 30 million EOT, is going to bring us over the 30 million that we have dispersed to us. So that is why it's throwing out an error here. Obviously, you cannot EOT more funds than you've been given so far. So I can just go ahead and hit cancel, and we'll try, a lower EOT amount. So let's go ahead and put 2.5 million. You'll notice that it let me put this number in, but now there are some red highlighted cells in the quarterly reporting template. So just due to some limits with Excel, we can't cause that pop-up error in every single scenario. So there'll be a combination of the pop-up restrictions as well as the red highlighting to indicate to you that there may be an issue with how you've entered the data into the template. So this is actually the same problem that we're running into. Even though our 29 million here for our program funds is less than the 30 million dispersed, when you add together the program funds EOT and the admin that we've EOT'd, that's going over that $30 million threshold. So it really is truly the same error as before, just behaving a little bit differently in the template. If you see any red highlighted cells in your quarterly report, please do not submit that. If you're not sure what's causing the error, just reach out through your outreach manager, the compliance team. We'd be happy to discuss that before the submission of the quarterly. So we'll go ahead and correct this. Say we just have a cool $1 million EOT'd in this program for the current quarter, and that will bring all of our totals under the $30 million disbursement amount and get rid of all of the red highlights. All right, so that is an example of entering program allocated funds EOT. Once again, you would enter the recycled funding information in this section if it's applicable. All right, now I'll go through an example of entering the administrative costs and how you could offset that with the program income. So again, you can see here per our prior reporting, we have already EOT'd $1.4 million in direct administrative costs. Looking at this cell here, we can see our total allowable administrative costs for our current tranche is only 1.5 million, and currently, which comes to 5% of our dispersed funding. Currently, we're at 4.67% EOT, so coming up to that threshold rather quickly. Let's say I need to expend some more administrative costs, maybe like up to $300,000 worth of admin. If I try to enter that here, again, you'll see an error because the total administrative costs cannot exceed the administrative costs threshold. So one way that you'd be able to get around this, like Sue mentioned, is to use program income to offset the administrative costs. So we'll come down here into the program income section. As you can see, again, per my prior reporting, I have already, gotten over $300,000 in program income and reported that. If I do have additional program income from the current quarter, you could enter that here. And then that'll bring us to a cumulative of over 400,000 in program income. Let's say that we'd like to use 300,000 of this towards our administrative costs. You would do that by entering that 300,000 into the adjustment column here. So I'll put negative 300,000. Okay, so that will bring you to a net of 106, and that's how you should report the program income section for administrative costs offset. And then same thing, we'll come back up to the administrative costs and enter that 300,000 here to offset our administrative costs. Since you are entering something into these adjustment columns, you'll need to enter some comments, just briefly explaining the purpose of the adjustment. So you can, just simply say admin offset with program income. If you did have any other adjustments in your program, EOT information or recycled funding or something like that, you just, continue to add comments describing the purpose of those adjustments. All right, and then again, you can edit the budgeted information of your contracted entities if that were to change over the course of your program. Okay, so that will conclude the demonstration of the quarterly reporting template here.